Hello, this is Peter Konechny from medievalist.net, and we are here with Dr. Richard Scott Nokes of Troy University, and you are one of the most famous bloggers in the medieval studies sphere, and just tell us a bit about your blog.
Well, being one of the most famous bloggers in the medieval sphere means you're the top person of 12 or something. My blog is called Unlocked Word Hoard. The title comes from a line that is found in Beowulf and also in elsewhere in Anglo-Saxon poetry, and refers to a speaker when they're going to speak. They unlock the word hoard as if you have a chest of words that you open up and you release. My blog is mostly focused on popular medievalism, the ways in which the things of primarily medieval literature, because that's my interest, but anything medieval is then appropriate or found in the modern world. And then also the we also have scholarly, people talk about their papers they're presenting at conferences and things like that as well.
How do you get motivated to write a particular piece, and how long does it take for you to do it?
Well, it depends. One of probably the most popular piece I have is the Morning Medieval Miscellany, in which it's basically just a list of links of things that have come out since in the last day or two. And that's easy to get motivated. I want to read what's out there. I want to read what people are writing, and so what will happen is I'll put that together. And so most of the original material posts I'll write, where I'll write about like the politics of the BBC Robin Hood, for example, or the perception that the Middle Ages stank, or issues like that. Those either come from something I've been reading online, or elsewhere in the blogosphere or in popular culture, people have been discussing this issue, or they arise from discussions that happen in my class, where a student will say something that is interesting to me as a scholar, and I'll want to present that elsewhere.
Speaking of the other people, kind of sites you take a look at, what kind of medieval or non-medieval sites do you kind of peruse on a regular basis?
Nowadays, I mostly just peruse the medieval sites, simply because that's really grown. I mean, when I first started the word hoard, gosh, I guess we're coming up on 3 years now ago, there weren't that many. I mean, I literally would go through my blog roll and look at 10 to 20 sites at the most. Now my RSS feed, if I don't clear it out for that day, I get probably 50 to 100 posts a day that I have to look through. Of course, most of them are not relevant, but you don't have to look at them first of all to do that. Probably my favorite website now is Carl Peerdom's Scott Medieval, because it's, besides being a lot of fun, it also has a lot of pictures of monkeys, and that makes me happy.
That's always a good thing.
Anything with manuscripts and monkeys is good for me. And of course, to plug medievalist.net. I mean, you guys are, medievalist.net is turning into a real kind of clearinghouse for information about what's going on. It's a sort of permanent web page out there. So, those I suppose right now are my two favorites. And what will happen too, of course, is some websites will kind of go dormant for a while, and then will suddenly erupt into a flurry of really interesting activity. And I think sometimes one of my jobs is to let people know, hey, this website that hasn't had a post in 3 months has had 6 posts over the last month, and they're all great.
Sometimes I know some of my favorite blogs and favorite websites that kind of are really active and really quiet.
Right.
But yours seems to be always pretty going all the time. So.
Well, I try, and most of it really is. What I try to do is create a dialogue and create a space in which people can talk about the things that they're interested in. So, and when it first started, that was, I think, more essential to the blogosphere because there were fewer sites. Now there are more sites, there are more places to do that, but I still try to create this kind of safe space where people can come on and talk about that. The design is the comments are always on the front page. You know, you don't have to click to another page to get to the comments or anything like that. And that's so that people feel like if they put something on there, it will be right out there. So that's really, I guess, this sense of community is what gets me working. Is I'm reading what other people are writing, and I want to comment on that, and maybe invite them to come comment on what's going on in my pages. And very often the things that get the most activity are not the things that I have said, but more someone else said this, and so I bring it on, and people will respond to it.
Just switching gears a bit, we're here at the International Congress on Medieval Studies, and I was just wondering what brings you here for this year's Congress?
I'm doing 2 sessions. I just gave a paper on the nationalist reception of Beowulf, Prince of the Geats, and that's about how a film version of Beowulf got a very strong and negative reaction from neo-Nazis and from neo-Odinists, and about that reaction and how that worked out. And then later on, tomorrow I suppose, though it will be in the past by the time they see this, I'm on a roundtable about using popular culture to teach medieval literature. And so those are the 2 things I'm doing here this time.
And just finally, like, what are the kind of other academic pursuits are you going after next few months and years, I guess? What's your new research interests?
Well, I've been, the last year I've really been working on this issue of nationalism. I've had to spend a lot of time in places I didn't expect to go, like neo-Nazi websites. So I'm sure the IT department has quite the list of things I've visited and has worried about me. So that's where I have been, and that's all part of my general push toward looking at popular medievalism and the reception of popular medievalism. So that's not going to go away. I'm working on, and we don't even have a name for it yet, but we're working on creating an undergraduate medieval literature conference that will be hosted at Troy University in the fall. And it's not intended just to be for us. We're working with Wesleyan College in Macon with Dr. Amy Kaufman there to try to make this a reality. Hopefully we can get this done by late fall for the first one, and then keep it going after that. So keep your eyes open for that. And so we're setting that up, and then also I'm working on I'll probably be working on some educational materials. The producers of Beowulf, Prince of the Geats asked me if I'd work with them on some educational materials, and I told them I would, to go along with the film. So those are the things I'm doing in the immediate future. In longer term, I've been working on a project that is tentatively entitled Medieval America, which is simply about the role of popular medievalism in American society from the founders until today.
We look forward to that. Well, thank you very much for coming on and talking with us.
Thanks for having me.